Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Parmigiani Tonda 1950. You can see and you can purchase this meteorite dial micro rotor automatic on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this abyss blue meteorite dial titanium Parmigiani Tonda 1950. Now, I've given you quite a bit of information already, but how about a few more statistics? 39 millimeters across the round of the case, not inclusive of the crown. That's on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. Now, the watch is delightfully slim, only 8 millimeters. It does have a little bit of a slope to the bezel, so it wears thinner, allowing a dress cuff to ramp up and over it. Thanks to those dramatic teardrop style lugs, the Parmigiani wears narrow across the wrist. Lug to lug, it's only 43.5 millimeters, and the lugs have a beautiful arc and camber to them, so the watch wraps itself around the edges of the wrist rather than flaring out, meaning that this watch, in my estimation, could be worn with proportion and elegance on a wrist down to as small as 13.5 centimeters in circumference, perhaps even 13. This is a very versatile reference. Now, the watch is titanium, so it's nice and light in the hand, beautifully finished, and these modular Parmigiani lugs, which have been among the most distinctive features of Parmigiani design for most of the company's history since 1996, they really do serve a very functional purpose. And the flank of the case is beautifully designed such that there's actually a little bit of a scalloped portion so that the lugs can be drilled high and close to the case, and you can have a very coherent look with the strap almost flush to the case flank and yet still able to pull straight down, in no way constrained in its flexibility, beautifully made, thoughtfully designed, and that goes for every feature of the watch. Now, there is a minimally bolstered navy blue rectangular scale alligator leather strap. You can see it's a monotone stitch with folded edges. On the underside, a beautiful and incredibly supple calfskin, and yes, as with all Parmigiani straps, this one is made by Hermes. You'll also note that the watch has a handsome and simple traditional titanium polished pin buckle. The watch is gorgeous. It's all about the dial, which is not to say the case isn't striking. You can see it has strong character lines where the case back joins the case, where the bezel joins the case, beautifully contoured. You'll also see that the lugs themselves are wonderfully complex in their compound curves, and like the rest of the case, immaculately polished. The titanium is extraordinary in its polished form, which is a finish rarely seen on tie treatments. Now, you'll also note that the dial, featuring the Widmanstätten patterns, is remarkably expressive, far more elaborate than most meteorite dials. This one features what Parmigiani describes as abyss blue. All of the indices are hand applied and beautifully polished. You can see the hands at center are what Parmigiani describes as deltas. They're not precisely alphas, and they're not precisely Dauphine. Rather, they are delta fusion style. You'll also note that though this is an ultra-thin dress watch, they're also abundantly luminescent, so you can see this watch in the dark. There's a inset small second subdial at 6 o'clock on this beautifully balanced dial. Now, the case back is spectacular. You're looking at Parmigiani's manufacturer caliber Parmigiani PF701, 29 jewels, adjusted, beautifully refined, with a 42-hour power reserve, and ceramic bearings with a micro rotor inset. The benefit of a micro rotor, and you can see it to good advantage from this angle, is that it's no thicker than a manual wind. It gives you the beautiful, visible, expansive case back of a manual wind, and yet you get the convenience of an automatic. It really is having your cake and eating it too. Now, there's gorgeous finish. You'll note there's a beautiful guilloche pattern on the rotor itself, a tight and even perlage on the base plate. You'll also note linear Côte de Genève across the bridges, and I'll try to turn the watch so you can see those to good effect. All of the screws are beautifully polished, and there's a delightful range of tones here, from the violet of the pivot jewels to the gold of the train to the blinding silver of the rhodium-coated bridges themselves. This is watchmaking at its best, and yes, it does feature a hacking function, so when you pull the crown, you can effectively stop the balance, and synchronize the watch precisely to a known accurate reference time. Push it back in and the watch starts right back up. It features a stately 3 Hz 21,600 vibration per hour beat rate, and being a dress watch, it has 3 ATM water resistance. This is a remarkably sporty watch, however, so it's equally at home in casual attire. Smart casual is perfectly matched to this watch. I would say the only thing you don't want to wear it with is a bathing suit, for obvious reasons, but then again, you've got a Parmigiani Pershing for that, don't you? You can see and you can purchase this Parmigiani Fleurier Tonda 1950 with abyss blue meteorite dial in titanium on our website.